Hello, we are being live streamed. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So I'm going to try and move my screen around so I'm not staring over in the corner of myself because it's weird. So it's Tuesday. How's everyone doing? Lucy and I decided to have a little chat. Can I just also point out that Lucy is fresh off a plane pretty much as well, having had.
No, I've got no makeup on, so I'm like the post-holiday glow. I'm like, let's just.
You look amazing. Come
like,
on.
A little bit of tinted moisturizer on. That doesn't count as makeup. Makeup for me is like, right, that, then that, then that. Like
building those layers up.
Yeah.
It's like building those layers. Oh, I love it. No, that's a really good way to start this live, actually, because I wanted to chat with you about transformation, because it was one of those things, and that's what I've titled it, although I'll probably have to go back and edit it in a minute, because Facebook is not my friend with this kind of stuff. Technology doesn't like me. By the way, I'm kind of still getting used to my new haircut, if anyone knows me. So I'm just zhuzh it up a bit. There we go. Zhuzh it.
You just need some zhuzh. It needs some.
It needs zhuzh, and it needs the roots covered. Let's not talk about those. They're getting done on Friday. So anyway, I want to talk about transformation, because this is something that's been big. In fact, I found out today that October is a month for transformation in the calendar, because of its obviously seasons, but also the way the planets move and all this stuff. Now, don't fall over, people, because Vicky doesn't normally talk about planets and spirits.
I was like, wait a minute, where is Vicky?
It's like
what's this woo-woo nonsense?
Yeah, the woo-woo nonsense has crept in a little bit, because, to be honest with you, because I'm just open to things.
Yes,
and this is why I wanted to talk about this, is because I think with transformation, or with openness to things, and having a more open mind and being receptive to things, transformation comes from that automatically. And I know, Lucy, you get the same things as me all the time. I actually got asked today by someone, I said I was doing a live tonight, and they're like, oh, were you always really comfortable doing lives? It's like, no. Literally used to break out in hives, redneck, sweat, hated it. And that's kind of like what we get asked quite a bit when you have a business like we have, whether you're doing lives on social media, whether you're going to events, whether you're hosting parties, doesn't matter how you do it, at some point you're going to have to get in front of someone and speak, or at least interact with them verbally in some way. And I think often this is what puts people off. And this is why I wanted to talk about this, because, it's like anything, the first time you decide to ride a bike, you don't just get on and ride it. You're going to fall off a few times and kind of get used to it. And that's all we've done, really. So I obviously have known Lucy quite a while now, a long amount of years. And, also I think pretty much most people watching this on Facebook will obviously know who you are, because we've had a few lives together. But if you don't, could you just give a little brief intro to your background, how we know each other, that kind of thing? That would be amazing.
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about the subject of transformation, because I believe we can reinvent ourselves 10,000 times. Oh. So actually, one of the things I was doing today is writing my third person biog as a presenter. So I'm basically going down the route of becoming a TV presenter and doing so. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm about to step on the BBC, right? That could mean I'm, presenting a corporate conference on diamond pens. Who knows, babe? But I just I find it fun. I'm in a financial position where I don't
choose what you do a bit more.
I choose what I do, right? I don't have to work for money. So I have a great life. I have, abundance. And so I'm in a position to go, what do I want to do more of? And I come from a performing arts-based family, and, my brother and sister are both performers. My parents both were, and I absolutely love speaking. I love presenting. It feels natural to me. I'm not going to say I'm a natural, but it feels natural to me. Yeah. And so it's something that I want to pursue and do. And so when you say about introducing yourself, it's interesting, because I think so many people introduce themselves by the roles they play in life rather than who they actually are. And for me, one of the biggest things that I'm most passionate about, and I'm sure we'll touch on it tonight when we talk, is about the fact that you get to be whoever the hell you want to be. And that is exactly what's happened to me over the last 5 years. 5 years ago, I introduced myself as somebody who was an events professional in the events world and had this situation and that house and that thing and was with that person and da-da-da-da. And actually now I can just introduce myself as a multi-passionate business owner who wants to do life on her terms. And I'm sassy. I'll say it how it is. I have no hard approach. And I'm just conscious of always leveling myself up.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I could give you all the things I've done. I could list accomplishments. I could tell you what jobs I hold or what businesses I run. But ultimately, that's not who I am. It's what I do. Mm-hmm. And so I think you'll get who I am from probably the way we talk tonight. But I'm just somebody who believes there is more than just the grind of life.
Yeah, definitely. And this was something I was listening to a podcast the other day. It's quite a famous one. I don't know, I think you may have even shared it as well at some point, but it's the one where the guy's talking about, you know, like the reality is when you get to the end of your life, you're not going to wish that you spent more time on social media. You're not going to wish that you spent more time at work doing your job. You're going to wish that you spent more time doing the things that are important to you. And that's different for everyone. And I think that is something that comes up a lot when I'm talking to people about having something extra, having something on the side, having a side business, or however you want to call it, is it connects you to those things that, like you've just said, you now have those choices, you have more choices. So let's go, I'm not going to go like too much into the old Lucy, if we want to call it that, but what was the reason that got you involved with the business we now have? Because obviously I know you're a celiac, so that, I mean, that was a big driver for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was totally a product need, if I'm honest, is how I discovered it. So found out quite late in life that I had chemical sensitivity, I still do. And in fact, actually, funny story, I was in Santorini this week on holiday, and I think they've used a cleaning product in the hotel and it's stuck in my nose and I legit can't get it out. Ooh. And obviously I've done 700,000 tests to get back here. So for anyone wondering about it, it's not that, but it's stuck in my nose. And I honestly believe it's an example of that. So I've had chemical sensitivity and celiac disease, I found out when I was 26. I think between the age of 25 and 28, it's all a bit of a blur, but it was at some point during that time. And so I literally put a post on Facebook to say, can anyone recommend any good gluten-free products, you know, face cream, shampoo, conditioner, everything, because I was suddenly acutely aware of how, at that time particularly, the product-based industry was intoxicated with chemicals and gluten and all these things that I showed really seriously, you know, issues with. And I met the person who introduced me to this business during that time, and I didn't really get it. And, you know, that's normal. I think sometimes people have a misconception of network marketing or a misconception of direct selling and think one is the other and the other is one and whatever. And it took me a couple of years to watch her journey on Facebook and see that she was doing what I wanted to do, which was living life on her terms. And so I actually reached out to her. I was the one that actually took her for lunch, and I was the one that said, right, tell me how this works, because I want to do this. And 4 years later, I was at the top of the company and national vice president. Now, I always say to people, you know, go visit earnings.arbon.com. It's where you can find the averages of what is possible in our business and what is typical. But I didn't have a typical mindset going into this because I'd also watched her for 2 years. You know, I saw a transformation take place, and I went, I want me some of that. So whether it's our 30-day plan, or whether it is our skincare or our products, or whether you see the person transform, I just think that is evidence for every single person watching this video that there's definitely something in this. And that is exactly why I joined, is I saw there was something in this.
And it's so funny because it's almost a mirror of my story with you. It's like I'd known you a couple of years previously. I'd almost, when you were just starting that, really. And I remember you said, I've still got the card up here and the product, you sent me a little sample, and I was telling a lady today, and it just sat in my drawer. I didn't even use it. I think I tipped the fizz stick in my mouth dry, not realizing you put it in water, and then just chucked it outside, and then was watching what you were doing, and I saw this transformation, and I saw you changing, and I saw you helping people, and I saw these things happening, and I just, exactly like you, was like, maybe I should take this more seriously, and maybe I want to get a bit of this myself, and maybe, you know, and I didn't even know what was missing. I didn't really know what I wanted, but I knew that this would connect me with it somehow. And I think probably because I'm more spiritually open now about things, I think it was something that was meant to happen. And I think that's just really interesting, because we all transform in different ways. Obviously your transformation was, like you say, it started with products, but it was really enhancing what you naturally want to do. For me, it was started again with products. I was interested in skincare, being that I'm 106 years old and look
Brilliant. Save on.
Okay, I'm 47. All right, I'm not going to lie about my age. But no, being that I'm 47, and I shared a picture of my mum actually on Facebook when we went out for lunch, and she was chatting to me on Sunday, and she was like, she actually had a go at me a little while ago for not noticing her skin had changed, and I had noticed, but I didn't want to bring it up too much because I didn't want to
by the way, you looked old and now you look less old.
Exactly. That's it. It's really hard. It's really hard. So she was like, I can't believe you haven't noticed the changes and all that. I was like, well, I did, but I didn't want to bring it up. But that's the thing. I think, you know, transformation can be physical, of course, but I think it's natural. You know, like you've obviously worked in the fitness industry a long time as well. So that thing when you've helped someone, you know, if they've got a weight loss goal, you've helped them lose weight, maybe they feel different within themselves, it's not just what they look like, that then brings out a confidence, that brings out a new side to their personality. And I think that in essence is what this business does as well, is it's not,
everything's connected, right? And I think this is what people believe. They think that they can do things in silo. But if you're the person that gets up in the morning and rushes through your day and don't think about, you know, giving yourself headspace in the morning, but it's going to affect how good you are at your job. It's going to affect how good you are as a mum, how good you are as a partner. That's one really simple example. If you wake up in the morning and you don't drink the water that you know you're supposed to drink, and instead you over caffeinate yourself, you're not going to go into that day with a clear head. If actually you decide to stay up and watch TV all night and you don't get a good night's sleep, what that's going to mean is you go into that next day and you're going to be disorganized and cluttered and you're not going to think straight, right?
Hold it. I realise I've left the dog outside. Hang on.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking. You just go do that. That's so funny.
Oh my God, I feel so bad. I could hear this little tapping on the door. And he's like, Mummy, you've left me out here. You've left me.
Brilliant.
Anyway.
I was going to say that everything's connected. And I think what people fail to realize, they think they can do something in silos. They think that they can go on a weight loss journey, but still talk to themselves like shit. Or they can be super successful in business, but eat rubbish and drink and go on benders every weekend. And the reality is you can't, because we don't attract what we want. We become, like, we get what we become. And so unless we decide to become different people and go on that transformational journey, and that can start with the physical journey, it can start with a product journey, it can start with a spiritual journey, it can start with a business journey. But unless you embrace all the assets and all the pieces, I don't really believe you ever create long lasting change. And it is the people that embrace the full 360, if you like. And I think that's what we've really done in our business. You know, we've got our personal development culture, our incredible products, we've got the business hustle side of it, and then obviously the deep personal development that we do with, you know, our individual consultants and our weekly trainings. Within all of that are all the resources and tools for people to make that 360 transformation, because not only do they believe more in themselves, they see physical results. So lose weight, better skin, improved, you know, they make a transformation. Maybe they just learn how to use makeup. It could be that simple, right?
That certainly happened with me. I had no clue. So it's,
and then they build their confidence through personal growth. They can then see how they can be successful in business, then become successful in business. They then gain a financial transformation, which leads to a lifestyle transformation. And I think when we actually wrap our heads around the fact that nothing in our life stands in silo, that nothing is independent, that is when you will fully recognize the power of a network marketing business versus anything else. Not saying it's better, it's not, right? It's not better, it's not perfect, but what it is different. And if you are looking, and this is, you know, what I always say to people, if you're looking for something more, like we both were, and we didn't know what it was, this is it. No one wakes up in the morning and goes, do you know what I want to be when I grow up? When I grow up, I am going to be an Arbonne consultant. I'm going to get to the top, apart from unless you're an Arbonne kid, right? Unless you're
that's very true.
You're 6 now and your mom's been in it 6 years. Like, that's not what you dream of. But what you dream of is a life that's unlocked by things. It's unlocked by a sense of belief, a sense of a level of finances, unlocked by a sense of self-worth. And those things come through growing yourself, growing a business. And I honestly believe the key to all of those things is actually just embracing a full 360 transformation. And that is what our business can do.
And not feeling like you've got to do it on your own as well. You know, like we all know people out there pay for coaches, pay for, you know, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in mindset, you know, whatever it is. And I'm not saying that, you know, you obviously get personal development coaching with what we do. And I'm not saying that's specific to each and every person's needs, but you will find that there will be people in this business that can help you in different ways. And I think that, you know, you sometimes aren't even conscious of that. And that's what can be quite incredible. So, you know, like I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What would you say? I'm going to ask you a couple of things. First of all, because I'll tell you why I'm saying this is I'm going to start really bringing back my book club in a way that is very helpful, because I used to do it. I did my book club. We did it a little bit with work related stuff, and then just, you know, sort of just me speaking to authors and that kind of thing. And one thing I learned from quite a recent book was it's a really clever story, which I'm not going to tell now because it goes on forever. But the point is often we will read a book and then literally been like, right, read that and chuck it to one side and learn nothing from it and continue on because we've read it and we think, well, that's that. But exactly. And what I'm going to start doing now is actually doing almost like a little book report, like a little top takeaways from every single one.
what's that app that does a 5-minute review of every book?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing. And I'm going to put it on YouTube, and I've got this little podcast that I'm starting, all that kind of stuff. So that when gradually I can build up a nice sort of library almost. So hopefully people can come into it and think, well, what do I want to learn about now? I want to do this, bit of that. Oh, maybe this will help. And that's kind of where I want to go with it. And so I would like to ask you if you could gift somebody a book. Like, let's say that you could give to someone a book. What would be a nice generic book that you'd give to someone, not knowing what they're into? Doesn't matter. I'm going to say they're female. I'm going to say they're 18 or over. And you're going to send them a present, and it's a book. Which one would you send them?
Oh, I know nothing about them.
You don't know. They're female and they're over 18, and because I want it to be generic. It could be it could be somebody, let's say that is somebody that, let's use me as an example, is not really into personal development that massively. They're quite negative, like I used to be. They're quite negative about it. They don't want to be going all woo-woo. Love
Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo. She's a New Yorker, so she's a bit sassy. She does get a bit woo-woo later on, but she's very practical.
Tolerably though. It's
not. And this is the story of how she discovered this whole strap line of Everything's Figure Outable. Was about her mum, and her mum was her mum was very like her dad as well, and it's a very great story. But I mean, there's a few books I always recommend. You Are a Badass is also probably been my second choice. Jen Sincero. I don't have that in paperback to be able to show you, but yeah, probably Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo.
Oh, love it. Absolutely brilliant. And all right, I'm going to give you one more question and then we'll leave it. So if you could give someone one top tip, because skincare is my bag, obviously I love it as skincare. One top tip for skincare, what would you say? What would yours be?
Hydration.
Yeah.
Drink.
Boom, she knows her stuff.
Drink more water. That's it. There you go. Honestly, it's everything. It's glow, it's plumpness, it's skin cell turnover, it's anti-aging, it's everything. The reason why your skin burns, the reason why your skin pigments, the reason why your skin sags is lack of hydration. And of course, there are some things you can do and some things you can't change, right? There's things we can do.
Environmental factors.
And things that we can't. But if you continually drink more water and you stay super hydrated, you will improve and slow down the rate of aging.
That's amazing. Well, I think we've just covered some amazing bases there. We've given you top tips. You hopefully have felt a little bit inspired, and whether or not you want to join a network marketing business or you don't, it doesn't matter. But what you can do is you can be part of a community. And I think that what is so nice about what we do is, even if people aren't wanting to join the business we do, we've got so many different groups, forums, ways people get involved, whether they just want to learn a bit about skincare, whether they just want to feel the love, maybe do a bit of personal development, whatever. I think we're always a pretty approachable bunch, certainly in Arbonne anyway. I'm going to just put it out there. Pretty approachable bunch. So thank you, my darling, for your time as ever. And thank you guys for watching. I will be popping this up on different platforms. So thank you again. Much love. Have a fabulous Tuesday. Bye for now. Yeah.